Welcome to Building Toronto's Skyline, a podcast exploring the current state of Toronto's condominium industry from a unique construction perspective through engaging and entertaining podcast interviews with the many stakeholders in the industry. This podcast is brought to you by Fusion Core, a construction management company. Here's the founder and CEO of Fusion Core Developments, Inc., and author of Building Toronto's Skyline, the host of this podcast, Nick Ainis.
Okay, Mike, you got Fusion Core wrong again.
How do you say it? Say it slowly. Corp.
Fusion Core.
You want me to nail the P?
You got it.
Okay, you know what? A third time's a charm. That's what I always say. How you doing? How did you feel about your first episode?
Well, I thought it went well. I think we hit it off. I think this is the right format. This is like where it all begins, and I'm pretty excited about the next episode 2 with we have a great guest here.
Okay.
We have a great guest here today.
Let's not bury the lead. I see that you've brought a guest with us today. Who do we have in the studio, Nick?
So we have Mario Ribeiro from Triumph Group of Companies, and I've known Mario for quite some time now, and he's owns a pretty innovative company, and we're going to talk about Mario, how he got started, his company, and some of the major developments that are underway with Triumph.
And it's not the band Triumph, right? He's not taking over for Rick Emmett in Triumph, is he?
Well, he's got a lot of capabilities, so
you never know.
It's possible.
You never know. So before we dive in with Mario, and I'm looking forward to learning a great deal more about Mario, so the past 2 weeks, speaking engagements, appearances, anything upcoming?
Well, I was on the segment called The Condo Report, with Humble and Fred. That went well this week.
You're a regular participant there on the Condo Report.
Yeah, we introduced the show, which is fantastic. It's a great publicity, and I got a big following over there, as you know, Mike.
Are Humble and Fred subscribed to this podcast, Building Toronto Skyline?
No, but I'm sure you'll look after that for us.
I'll just ask to borrow their phone and I'll subscribe them for them. They won't know what happened, but
sounds good.
You sounded great on Humble and Fred. You sound great on this podcast, Building Toronto Skyline. Now, please, let's hear from Mario. How you doing, Mario?
Really good. It's exciting to be here with Nick, my buddy, for a long time.
We're gonna tell everybody how we know each other, Mario, today.
Yeah,
only the good parts.
Yes, yeah, can't say everything. Yeah,
no. It's going to be a wonderful show, and we're going to talk a little bit about your story because you have an incredible story, to be honest with you. Wow. And you don't talk about it as much, and you're a very busy guy. But a lot of people want to know about your successes because I think you downplay yourself, but you are an incredible individual who has built this amazing company, Triumph.
Wow, thank you. That's nice to hear that.
No, of course. And we know each other. I was a project manager. I think we met when I was at Intercorp. Is that where we met?
Yeah. We were working as a trade for Intercorp, and you were the boss.
Yeah, I was. I always try to be the boss, even if I'm not the boss. I guess then we became friends, and eventually I became your construction manager at Roncesvalles Lofts.
Right. Then I became the boss.
Yeah, that was tough.
Tough to swallow.
It's a big difference. Yeah. I know. I remember I had to work Saturdays all the time.
Right. Yeah.
That was really good. Yeah. But over the years, we developed a very good friendship, and we've done more jobs together and everything like that. And you have an amazing story, and I think that's what I want to start off because you're a real rags to riches story, and I think people want to hear about people who are successful. And who started from basically nothing. And you are like probably some multi-million-dollar company right now, if I'm not mistaken. Like some significant, like Mike, you're not going to believe how amazing Mario's company is.
Look, I'm buckled up with that introduction. I'm expecting Rick Emmett from Triumph now, so this is very exciting. I'm going to adjust the mic so we don't miss a single beat here, and then I want to hear from Mario this origin story, and particularly any dirt on my dear friend here, Nick Ainis. Please don't be shy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You don't have
tough.
to. Don't just ignore Mike. That's all. Just be you. That's all.
Yeah.
So Mario, let's start with that first question, because I think you do have this amazing story. Tell us, I guess you were born in Portugal.
Yeah, born in Portugal and came to Canada when I was just turning 16, and went right into construction, and and within about a year or so, I was given the opportunity to start my own business, and I did, and started doing sheet metal and fabricating sheet metal, installing sheet metal. Then that turned into roofing, and basically every year would go and start a new line within the business and within the trade. So over time, we became, I guess, a fair, really fair size contractor in the trades. Roofing turned into waterproofing, and cladding. We became a pretty well-known cladding company. I think it was in the cladding that I met, doing a cladding project, that I met Nick, and from there, over the years, we've been growing and just adding more to the scope, to the point that now we have the whole building envelope. We really basically sell ourselves as a whole building envelope company, right?
And don't give too many details on that, because I I'm ready with a big introduction on all the things that Triumph provides,
right,
in terms of roofing capabilities and cladding capabilities, and much more. So, did Frank is your brother? Although it's a big company, you have a lot of family members working at Triumph, including now all your sons, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, when did Frank join the business?
Yeah, so Frank joined the business within about a year of when I started the business, and we've been together since then. We're basically partners in every business, and the whole group. Frank is big part of it. Is basically the guy that deals with the nitty-gritty on the ground, in the site, making sure
operations,
making sure keep the skilled labor happy and faithful. And we've grown to between all the different divisions, we're approximately close to 600 people at this point.
Oh wow, that is amazing. That is
amazing. From us, basically me and myself and him doing the work hands-on in the field.
I remember I had to deal with you in the office when I worked for you guys. Right. I had to deal with you in the office, and then in the field I had to deal with Frank.
Right.
And sometimes I said, okay, maybe it's better to deal with Mario. And then another day I'd say, well, maybe it's better to deal with Frank.
Yeah, we're a good tag team. Yeah, for sure.
It's called good cop, bad cop. Now.
That's right. You need the good
genius,
bad cop routine. Yeah.
Do you take turns being the good cop and the bad cop, or are you always consistent?
Yeah. Well, at this point we're pretty. Our roles are pretty delineated. We're. He's definitely more in the dealing with the operations, logistics and all of that. There's a lot of work that goes in behind to make it look easy to the client. The goal is always to, deliver, really good quality and make it as effortless as make it look as simple as possible to the client. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, there's so much going on to get there, and that's yeah, well, we both kind of found our own places in it, and I very involved in dealing with clients from day one, from trying to assist in the design of whatever part of the building we're working on the envelope, on the building envelope, and all the way to as it gets executed, really involved all the way through until it's finished. So yeah.
So in other words, like just starting from the beginning again, and back to my question, you've been an entrepreneur since you were 17 years old.
Right. Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood. It's in the genes. Yeah. Did you know that you have some persona that you may not be aware of? Did you know that?
Some persona? What do you mean?
And it's I think it's Greek mythology related. It's King Midas. Oh. Midas, he has the Midas touch. You turn everything you touch. Everybody thinks that everything you touch turns to gold.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
It's just a lot of work, a lot of, not a lot of sleep, and basically, make a promise and deliver it, and work really hard to always get the best result, whatever it takes. Because I can see.
I know how hard you work, so I know that everything you do, you put 110% into your business. So.
And Nick, before we dive into all the good things they're doing now, though, I heard in that origin story that all of you're just kind of yada it. You're like, I was a young guy. I just started my own business. Like, I just want to go back to that moment. Like, what you said, you had an opportunity to start your own business, and I'm just curious how you were able to start your own business so young. Like, how?
Well, I mean, I had rent to pay.
Good
and
question.
So that made me work extra hard, and it's
a good motivator.
So I had the boss that I guess saw that how hard I was working. Literally I was going to school during the day and going to do a sheet metal fabrication. Wow. After school, and then right into midnight usually. I was doing all of that, and then when at one point they were actually having some financial difficulties in their business, and they basically came to me and they said they would, he would be happy to help me to basically buy my first equipment, and I kind of embraced that. And
wow. That's great.
So
what was that? Who was that person? Was it someone you know today? And still keep in touch?
Yeah, we're still good friends. His name was actually Frank Casimiro. He was I just saw him a couple months ago in Portugal. He was retired in Portugal, and but we're great. Really think he. I guess any opportunity he has to also keep in touch with me, kind of, I think I made him proud that actually I did something with a little bit of help that he gave me,
Sure
that
did.
way, day one, he sees what we're able to do with it. So I think he feels really proud of that.
Yeah, because you started basically with nothing, and you entered into a portion of the industry that you're in right now, a very small fraction of what you're doing now, and you've built this amazing company. So let's go talk a little bit about your company, because your company has grown so much over the years, and I just want to go over a list of all the things the Triumph Group has to offer, and so I'm going to run by them here. You're involved in roofing and waterproofing. And in terms of roofing systems, you're doing single-ply, EPDM, 2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply, conventional, modified bitumen, cold-applied, green roofing, metal flashing, liquid-applied coating. And then you get into the slope roofs where you're doing asphalt shingles, slate and cedar shakes, zinc and copper metal roofing. On the cladding division, you've got a bunch of cladding materials that you're offering, including composite wood, fiber cement board. I guess there's corrugated metal siding, insulated metal wall panels, composite and plate aluminum panels, metal roofing, natural stone, exotic materials, flashings, and you've got a division that's handling sustainability, which means your solar, and I think you're doing metering related to solar, geothermal waste management. I think that's Red Bin. So if you need a bin on site, you need a garbage bin. Call Red Bin's a great service. I've already tried them already. Everybody should go to Red Bin, by the way.
That's right.
And you have house architectural supply. You're involved in modular restoration work, so you probably do a lot of re-roofing and other related restoration work, including caulking and I'm sure other restoration issues. And then recently you've added to that glazing, windows and doors, curtain wall, glass, facades, security screens, glass products, glass repair, glass replacement. And not only are you in Toronto and Ontario, but you're also in the province of Alberta, which is fantastic. You're regionally expanded. And this is not on your website. If they go to the website, they're going to see all this stuff. And I think it's triumph.com or triumphinc.com?
Triumphinc.ca.
Triumphinc.ca.
Yeah.
That's triumphinc.ca if you guys didn't hear correctly. But Triumph has also been and is a property owner and a developer. And I worked on one of your projects, Rondsville Loss, and you did a great job. And that's a beautiful project right in the Junction area in Toronto. And you also built another big property, was Howard Park Loss.
That's
phase
right.
1 and phase 2.
That's right.
So that was, so you've done, like, just listing all of that stuff. That is like pretty immense and incredible responsibility. And one of my questions was how many employees you had. You said 600.
Yeah, it's close to 600, around that. Yeah,
that is insane. That is like a fraction of what I hire. But
yeah, it's crazy.
So I just want to, here's just a good question, and we're going to go through, some of the more in detail about some of your products and everything. But how did you scale your company so quickly? And I guess that's the answer. How did you do it? How did you do it? Because a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs and successful business people, they, how do you grow a business? A lot of people would want to know how that happens.
Right.
And did you?
Yeah. So
tell us a little bit about that. Give some people out there in the audience.
I'm taking notes over here, Nick.
Sure.
This is very impressive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Mike needs some pointers for sure.
Yeah. So over the years, I mean, it's been starting from. Yeah, it was small. It was basically starting with some sheet metal, then cladding, but the whole evolution is always been adding something that complements what we already have. So then it sort of makes it, as much as it's not easy to start any business, and not everything is smooth, and it's very hard. The growing pains of starting any division that we've had. It's always been our life. It was, if I said it was easy, it's never been easy. It's just through a lot of work and bringing good people that to work with you, that have the skills, and bringing them together and building good teams around you. It's definitely the part of that, I guess, recipe that makes it work. So over time, and everything is over time. This is not didn't happen in a year or two. This is 38 years, or maybe going on 39 years of a lot of hard work. It's just never always looking forward to improve what we're doing. It's always been about how can we do it better, and there's nothing in our business even right now that I don't look every day and I say, okay, no, we got to tweak that, and we got to keep on improving it. And with the improvement, it comes how can we do a better job for our clients that will keep them on coming back as well? How can we, continue building the trust that we've earned, and it's difficult. It's a never ending job to keep things moving, and it's really, sometimes it's not even about growing. It's just the growing the business. It's kind of it comes as a result of just trying to do something better
always
every day.
Like this continuous improvement and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So did you at some point hire professional management, or like, for example, you get a chief financial officer? Did that help at all at some point in your business?
Yeah, in the last few years, I mean, most of our staff, it was more about hiring from within and basically growing that talent in-house. We have people quite a few people that have been with us from day one. Actually, we have some of the same people that started right on the tools with me. They're still working with us, and over the years we've had to, of course, we have engineers now. We have that some that have been with us 15, 20 years. We have good project management staff, accounting. We did that some, like, we have a CFO. In the last few years we added the CFO because that was something we were at that point that he was a little, it was necessary to the scale of the company that we became.
To watch the money very carefully.
Yeah, you got to watch it very carefully, for sure. My kids, and Frank has got his son as well.
They work for free, obviously. That's a good way to make money, right?
Well, they never did. We always try to motivate them by paying them a fair wage, but they probably they work at a discount, maybe.
That's good. I worked at a discount for you too, so I remember. I know how they feel.
It's long-term reward. That's what I tell them. It's long-term reward. Yeah.
So when you started, obviously, you probably acquired equipment, you acquired machinery, you acquired. I think you bought the building at 25 Ritchie at some point. Mm-hmm. When did you start? I guess you were always investing in equipment. I guess you need that, obviously, to function for your business.
Oh yeah, that's been nonstop. So yeah, our first shop was a little. I think we had maybe 80, 90 square feet office and maybe 1,000 square feet, not even of shop, and that was first shop and first equipment. Within a few years, 2-3 years, that's when we purchased 25 Ritchie. There we had approximately 18,000 square feet, which was huge for us at the time. We were, we didn't know what the hell. That was a lot, anyways. But that allowed us to, get our first hydraulic brake, shears, and different things that we need for our business. That's when, at that point, shortly after, we started our roofing division, which has grown over the years quite a bit, and over the years, new systems. It's continuous. And what I found, comparing to, I guess you look at other businesses that have been around and that stagnate, and the difference is we really have never stopped investing. I mean, we have our cladding department alone. We got 40,000 square feet of facility.
So is that
very
the one
modern equipment?
That's in Mississauga, or
that's in Mississauga. Yeah, that's in Mississauga. So we've got lasers. We got like very modern, hydraulic presses and shears and all kinds of CNC machines.
Yes, I saw we visited your Mississauga location. I've been to your head office as well. How big is your head office now?
Our head office is from 25 Ritchie. We moved then that's where we end up building Rossensville's Lofts, which you helped us with.
Yes.
And then we moved to 1 Connie Street. That's today still our headquarters. That's where we run our roofing and waterproofing out of, and it's our headquarters. So we got a couple acres there, and it's well located within sort of a very accessible to the highways. Like we do a lot of maintenance and service for a lot of building owners as well, and so that's one of the hubs there for that. With the growth of our business, we had to, at one point we had a lot of it there, but then we went and acquired another property. That's where in Mississauga by Airport Road and 407, and that's where we have our cladding manufacturing facility, and we run our cladding
That's great.
Contracting out of there as well.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So if I get it in a nutshell, a good good advice to, say, entrepreneurs and business people is always invest in your company.
100%, yeah.
And can look for continuous improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rest on your laurels, right, Mario?
And,
for sure, yeah.
And buy equipment, buy assets as much as you can for your company, and I'm sure that helps you with your financials and your ability to access capital. Does that help a lot?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, basically being a reliable client of your bank, where they see that over the years you keep on going on a straight line, and just that gives them some trust. I think I see a lot of people, even clients, that bet on us. It's because they see we've been around a long time, and they see the evolution. They see that we don't rest. We may screw up, sometimes things don't, not everything goes 100% all the time, but we're there to deal with any issues, and we don't rest until things are as they're supposed to be, or better. I mean, and that's with everything. Yeah, investing in your business in all aspects, like safety. I feel we've been ahead of the curve. There's been certain requirements that they don't start as a requirement, but we see that that's how the industry is going, in the direction that the industry is going, and we have embraced it early on all the time, because we see, we want to, we really like, and that, safety is one of them. When CORE came up, that's certification for safety that construction companies are now, it's becoming more mandatory in many aspects, but in the beginning it wasn't, and we invested heavily on that.
That's good.
And that as a result of that, there's better quality on the sites as well, better, so it's like one thing leads to another.
Yes, absolutely.
And
because you're working at significant heights a lot of the time, because, let's be honest, you're working on the roof, so that's the top. You can't go any higher than that.
That's as high as it gets.
Yeah, roof, walls, etc. And you know what? The investment that we do on that, and the commitment that we have, clients see it. Our employees and their families see it, because they go and say, "Wow, okay, you know what? This is a company that it's not just about the bottom line." it's about doing, like a working like safely and being really, you have to be paranoid about it, and it's got to be from the top down. And I am paranoid about safety, quality, and doing it better and better. It's not always perfect, but we're always learning. You find that there's a gap and a mistake, and you try to close that gap, and then of course there's always something else. Every time you go over a little hill, you see a bigger mountain, but it's it's exciting to resolve those problems. It's
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because I think you're the people that work for you, they want to know that you're a responsible corporation, and that I think the families appreciate that you're looking after people's safety as well. So that's really great.
Kudos to you. That
great.
is paramount. So excellent.
So now tell us a little bit. So there was a recent news event in Triumph, and I came across it, and I said, oh my, what the is going on? Okay. I can't say that word. I don't want to say that word.
I'll beep it out.
But I was totally surprised by an announcement that I received via email, and I was shocked, to be honest with
you. Okay, what was that?
But I'm telling you,
there's been so much.
Mario's like, which one?
No. But I'll get to it. So the acquisition of Primeline was Primeline Windows, and I've worked with the principals over at Primeline Windows for a long time, some of which I'm very on good relations with, just like yourself, know them for very many years. Actually, my first building was with Primeline in the year 2000, so 24 years plus, not as much as you, but but it was I've known the individuals at Primeline for quite some time. And I was amazed and surprised and happy, and also happy and very that you acquired Primeline as part of your group of companies. So that's a good story. And why don't you tell us a little bit about how it happened, and give us the background there, because that was some major news that I didn't expect.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm very excited about it. It's taking it's actually giving me now another mission, a new mission of something that I see being great for our group of companies, but also for our clientele, and the ones that are not now, I think they will become.
Of course. Well, after building Toronto Skyline, I'm going to launch you into, I think, possibly billionaire status. Is that going to happen? I'm just joking.
I don't know what I'll be able to do with that.
But I'm going to put it to you this way. So almost everything on the exterior of the building, you can do. You can do the roof. You can do the cladding. You can do the windows. That's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It depends on what's designed, of course, in the building. But now you are a complete turnkey envelope specialist in terms of your company, your group of companies. So, So how did you? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? Did they? Right. It was out of the blue remark saying, I'm probably going to sell Mario down the road, and not expecting you to say, okay, I'll make you an offer.
Well,
you can't refuse.
Yeah.
Is he alive? Is he still alive, or is he in Portugal somewhere?
He definitely doesn't sleep
in the basement.
We send him to an island. No,
Azores?
It's a long. The background. It's a long story. I mean, it goes back to actually us developing and building our own buildings. But even goes back even before that, because some of their key people, which are still there, we over the years we collaborated on sometimes there would be a glazing project that they would need some help with us doing the cladding, and sometimes on a smaller scale, vice versa. So we collaborated. It was always, I always felt, really good people, and it's all about people and personality. There's a lot about personalities and again, having people you trust. And over the years, eventually, when we started developing our own project from the ground up, we, of course, they were the ones that I knew, and we came to them, and they ended up being our window contractor for Howard Parks, various projects that we built and developed. The last one was we finished in 2018. Land was starting to get a little bit crazy expensive, I thought, and we were kind of not very speculative, only in the building envelope side we kind of are more aggressive, yes. But on that side we didn't feel comfortable getting into too much debt, I guess. And that point, I did notice there was some really great things with that business, but in some aspects there was certain things that I felt, of course, there's improvement. And looking from the outside, you always see certain things that sometimes the business owners don't see. And I know at the time, I remember like the existing owner was sort of already talking about retiring, etc. So that kind of stayed in my mind. But then, sort of by accident, we started talking. It was just kind of a coincidence. We did start talking about it again about a year. It's just over a year and a half almost ago. And we started conversations about, they thought it was a good fit because, again, it's about people and who they would like to hand it over to, and the existing team. You wanna go into an unknown, and we and on our end, we saw this as the next big step in really completing our building envelope offering. So it took a while. There's a lot of counting and lawyer stuff that needs to happen, but we finally in May we closed the deal, and we've been overseeing it and very involved, in implementing the Triumph systems into this business. That it needed some injection of basically some
new life, new blood, and new capital.
Some Triumph.
Yes.
Injection of
the
Triumph.
The Triumph formula.
Yeah, that whole,
King Midas.
Invest in safety, in processes,
right.
In quality, in
estimating and everything.
The whole thing, and so far, the existing staff, they're very excited. They're embracing it. They're because they see, they see that there's this new life that's coming.
That's great.
Into the business, and it's making our overall group stronger, because we have this we see it as a really unique thing that we do have now, being able to sit in front of a client and pretty much be able to give them this whole package that we can
one-stop shopping.
Well, it's and it's like we had found over many years, one of the problems is you have the building envelope architecture in general. It's got more and more complex, because there's been I guess acknowledgement by architects and everybody else. There's like so many gaps in between. So, companies come in. the building owners and project management teams that are coordinating all of this, they have a hard time putting together all these different trades
and different components.
And different components that, shop drawings that come at different stages, etc., and then making it all work perfectly. It's nearly impossible sometimes, right?
So we find that a lot, and as construction managers, we like to have almost one or two elements max on the outside or exterior cladding system,
right?
Because you don't want to deal with 5 different trades. It slows down the job.
Right.
It slows down production. Slows down the schedule. Yeah. So we always recommend to simplify your exterior envelope with choices as construction manager. Now that's my plug. I'm trying to plug Fusion Corp now as construction manager. But so that acquisition really fits into your wheelhouse, and I think you made a good point when you said earlier on, you always try to try new things, but you keep it in your element, and I think that's a very good point. As a business owner or an entrepreneur, you want to grow, you want to expand, but you didn't get into the excavation business or the concrete forming business. You stayed all within that wheelhouse so that you could so that there's products and things that you're using that you're familiar with. It's not completely alien to you. So
that's right.
So I thought that was really interesting, and then it was really exciting. Now, there's a bunch of Greek people that work at Primeline, eh?
I know. That's my biggest problem. I gotta put more Portuguese there. I'm joking. Yeah. No, they're good. They're good people.
Yeah. Well, they're the whole team over there. There's a lot of Greeks, but they're very good workers, and probably harder working than the Portuguese.
Okay.
I don't know about that. They go to Greece all the time, but you guys go to Portugal all the time.
It's a good combination, really good combination. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That was great to hear.
Nick, do you mind if I ask Mario a couple of quick questions here? One is I'm legit curious about something here. You do mind? It's too late. I already started. So, Mario, I'm just curious. Because the last couple of weeks I've been staring at this logo, Building Toronto Skyline. You see the yellow and you got the CN Tower as the T there. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that? What do you think of that logo?
It's good, right? It's good. Yeah, I mean the CN Towers turns
and the yellow and the black and the white.
The two eyes.
I like the
stands out. Yeah,
really, so
it's a cool logo.
I guess this is I don't know, Nick, what the story is, but I just want you to know I love your logo for Building Toronto Skyline.
Well, we tried to keep it relatable and simple, and we're talking about Toronto's construction industry, so that's the whole point. Well, but you put him on the spot. He almost said, it's okay."
Well, you know what? He was holding those cards close to his chest.
It's beautiful.
So. It's beautiful. So one last question before I get out of Nick's way. I don't want to be in Nick's way, but
hurry up,
Mario. Have you read? Have you read the book that Nick wrote, Building Toronto Skyline?
Give it to me. I'll
do it.
So I'm gonna give him the book, but I want to ask one last question, and I think two last questions. One is a good question. One is I'm gonna put you on the spot. In front of the big audience here. So one is you have a new cladding product that you're developing. Mm-hmm. It's some kind of a modular product, and I heard about this recently. And did you want to talk a little bit about that with the audience today?
Sure, yeah. So with cladding division, which we manufacture and do all design and of our cladding and install it on buildings, and now with a window company, which we do basically the same with windows. Looking at the trends in what is being demanded by the clientele out there, which is more energy efficiency and additional R values and all of that. What we found, and I've always had passion for, again, improving things and tinkering, and so one of the first missions that we gave our design and engineering teams, which I'm very involved in that, was to basically let's put the two together. and let's try to close these buildings faster. With better energy efficiency, and try to lower the price point, increase the quality, and this is what we're close to being able to test and so forth. We've gone ahead and we're setting up a new facility just dedicated to that in Midland.
Excellent.
And we got about 100,000 square feet, and we have about 36 acres, which is going to leave us with lots of room for expansion.
Oh wow!
So putting all of that together, and just going related to this and related to how this all goes together is what we've seen over the years with all that coordination is having a little bit of that disconnect of these different building envelope trades working on their own. Is you end up passing on, sometimes creating extras in costs and delays when things are not coordinated in the same office. And with this new way of doing business that we have, is we're able, the same team, they're working in the same office with the cladding, the glazing, the roof, and all these tie-ins, waterproofing. All of this ties in at some point, and having this modular wall, again, it brings down that minimizes any gaps left on this whole process, and it does speed up things, which is what there's a big drive to do that. And with the lack of skilled trades, being able to in a way also automate things a little bit in a controlled environment, and applying doing a lot of this work in a controlled environment, so quality is up, efficiency, speed, price, everything is going in the right direction, and so we're making a big bet on that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So your wife called me this morning.
Bullshit.
And she said, tell Mario, after the new modular sort of system that you're developing now, that's it.
Okay.
She doesn't want you.
That's
she doesn't want you.
That's what I always tell her every time I do something new. This is the last one.
Wow, it sounds like you've got it all covered, and you've done a great job. And so now this is the question you're not going to like, because I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay. And
not to put you on the spot, but is Triumph now going to sponsor Building Toronto Skyline, the podcast? What's your answer?
What's in it for me?
Well, we're gonna over the time we're gonna get.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
that'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And we're gonna plug Triumph on every episode, aren't we, Mike? Is that how it works?
Absolutely. We're going to add a plug for Triumph in the intro, the outro, and we'll shout them out during the episode.
Okay. Are you ready to do that today, Mike? So I've got a book for you. I've got Building Toronto Skyline, the book. I'm going to sign it for you today.
Wow.
And I hope you enjoy it. It's a little bit of a history of the Toronto condo market, and it's actually,
am I in it?
You're not in it, but that's okay.
Okay.
But King Midas is in it, and it's close enough. Mike, I got your version. You're going to have to hang it somewhere here so that everybody can see it.
Thank you, Nick. Love it. Love the photo.
I did it. Did it because I thought, hey, write a book, do some things, have a conversation about construction, and I learned a lot about the history of the condo market in there. And there's a lot of, you draw a lot of parallels of where we are today. It's a tough condo market right now, as you know, and we've been there before, but we're in a new situation now. So, but. So I want to just say that we learned a lot about Mario the person. We learned a lot about Triumph the company. We learned some new things that you guys are up to. And you were a fantastic guest today. So thank you very much. And
thank you for having me.
I know you had to put up with Mike, Toronto Mike here.
It's not
Next
bad.
time, Nick's going to have me muted. That'll
You're
be the
harder
next.
to deal with.
I'm harder to deal. I was really nice today. So we want to make sure all our guests feel comfortable. But we want to ask, there's not necessarily difficult questions here today. But and there could be other guests where we're going to ask difficult questions or challenging questions. But today, we really got to the bottom of a lot of things today, and we really appreciate your time.
Mario, what a pleasure it was to meet you and learn more about you. And you didn't dish any dirt on Nick, but that's okay. Maybe that's the next episode.
next time.
Next episode.
Yes. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Did you enjoy? This is your
cool.
first podcast, right?
Yeah, first ever.
I noticed at the beginning maybe a little bit nervous, but you warmed up about the 7-8 minute mark, and then you were just like a veteran.
Stay under the radar.
He's gonna have his own podcast.
Putting me
now.
out there, and I don't know about
Well,
that.
you know what? It's good to get out there. You're successful enough now, and enough is enough. You got to get out there. People need to know more about this amazing company that you have.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And thank you for listening to Building Toronto's Skyline, a podcast exploring the current state of Toronto's condominium industry. Proudly brought to you by Triumph. Please share, like, and subscribe. See you again in 2 weeks.
Hasta luego.